Intelligence gathered by this and other governments leaves no doubt that the Iraqi regime continues to possess and conceal some of the most lethal weapons ever devised.
Saddam is the only tyrant of our time, not only to possess weapons of mass destruction, but to use them in acts of mass murder.
The area in the south and the west and the north that coalition forces control is substantial. It happens not to be the area where weapons of mass destruction were dispersed. We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north somewhat.
My colleagues, every statement I make today is backed up by sources, solid sources. These are not assertions. What we're giving you are facts and conclusions based on solid intelligence. I will cite some examples, and these are from human sources.
We have reports of WMD material being buried, concealed in lakes, relocated to agricultural areas and private homes, or hidden beneath mosques or hospitals.
Most of the launchers and warheads had been hidden in large groves of palm trees and were to be moved every 1 to 4 weeks to escape detection.
That Iraq is reconstituting its nuclear weapons program. Saddam Hussein has held numerous meetings with Iraqi nuclear scientists, a group he calls his nuclear mujahideen, his nuclear holy warriors.
He is so determined that he has made repeated covert attempts to acquire high-specification aluminum tubes from 11 different countries, even after inspections resumed. These tubes are controlled by the Nuclear Suppliers Group precisely because they can be used as centrifuges for enriching uranium. By now, just about everyone has heard of these tubes.
The declaration fails to account for or explain Iraq's efforts to get uranium from abroad, its manufacture of specific fuel for ballistic missiles it claims not to have, and the raw materials needed to produce thousands of gallons of anthrax and other biological weapons.
We know that the regime has produced thousands of tons of chemical agents, including mustard gas, sarin nerve gas, VX nerve gas.
But UNSCUM estimates that Saddam Hussein could have produced 25,000 liters. If concentrated into this dry form, this amount would be enough to fill tens upon tens of thousands of teaspoons.
That Iraq has a growing fleet of manned and unmanned aerial vehicles that could be used to disperse chemical or biological weapons across broad areas. We're concerned that Iraq is exploring ways of using these UAVs for missions targeting the United States.
Saddam Hussein has chemical weapons.
The Iraqi regime possesses and produces chemical and biological weapons. It is seeking nuclear weapons.
We don't want the smoking gun to be a mushroom cloud.
Simply stated, there is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction. There is no doubt that he is amassing them to use against our friends, against our allies, and against us.
We know for a fact that there are weapons there.
Mr. President, members of the administration, and distinguished guests, it is an honor to present our findings in the search for Iraq's weapons of mass destruction. As of May 2004, 1 year after the conclusion of major combat in Iraq, the findings are varied. What follows is a sampling of what we have found.
This metallic concave dish and wire brush apparatus, when used in unison, could be used to mix a variety of chemical compounds. Please note that this dish has a volume equal to tens upon tens upon tens of thousands of teaspoons. Finding number 2. These mysterious white ovals were generally found around agricultural sites, often concealed beneath poultry. They are sometimes used in car bombings. Researchers speculate that daily exposure to 3 or 4 of these over the course of a lifetime could, by the end of one's life, kill a person.
Finding number 3.
This chemical agent, a thick viscid liquid, is sweet to the taste. It leaves a sticky residue, which could be used as a form of adhesive. We are currently holding this Aunt Jemima for questioning. It is believed that she is a relative of suspected al-Qaeda operative Uncle bin Laden Jemima. Finding number 4. This all-purpose chalky white powder, an obvious biological agent, when mixed with lactates or heavy water, yields a mysterious unknown paste, or John Doe. Finding number 5. At this time, we have no idea what this cast iron electronic unit does. Experts are hesitant to speculate. It may be a mold of some sort.
In conclusion, it is our considered opinion that the findings in the search for Iraq's weapons of mass destruction are definitely mixed, and the continuation of this search be left to the administration's discretion.
We know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north somewhat.
Saddam
We know where they
Hussein
are.
sat in the middle of the world's most volatile region, threatening his people, his neighbors, and the world.
It is seeking nuclear weapons.
By now, just about everyone has heard of these aluminum tubes. Aluminum tubes.
There is no doubt that Saddam Hussein now has weapons of mass destruction.
Aluminum tubes.
There is no doubt. 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 There is no doubt.